to make it as easy and simple as possible so that you can also practice at your end. So let me get into what I'll be talking today or what I'll be presenting today. So these are the contents of my presentation for today. First, we will see what is the necessity of a reference manager. Why do we need a reference management tool? And then I'll introduce you to reference manager. In this case, it will be Mendeley. Why again Mendeley as a reference manager? Although there are quite a lot of reference managers that are available. We will see as to how do we set up the library in Mendeley, how do we manage the library, how do we plug in the citations, and how Mendeley can be used as interacting with groups. So basically, the seventh point is basically when you want to collaborate in your research. At that time also you can use Mendeley so that you can share references. I'll be discussing in detail. Let me not confuse you right in the beginning. Let us go step by step and try and understand the need for a reference manager. Okay, just a quick this thing. Ma'am, I'm directly using the slide share, I mean the full screen mode here. So if any point of time, if there is anything, just tell me. Okay.
Yes, sir. I will inform, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm because the Google this thing is not visible. I'm directly into the slides. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there are two problems that I want to discuss, and the solution for those two problems is the use of reference management tool. The first problem we all researchers face is how do we manage the scholarly literature efficiently? All of us know that publication or PhD requires us to manage a lot of literature. Okay, so what has happened over a period of time? I get to interact with my senior colleagues and my mentors here at my workplace, and even my guide and all. You know, they used to tell the scenario back before the internet. How would people seek for literature? Like if you were doing PhD before the internet, like before 2000. They had to, a person doing PhD, or let us say if you want to write a research paper, they had to physically go to a library. There they would have to make the note of the research paper. They used to read the research paper, take the content, write down the content, make a note of the research paper, if it is available there, and then cite it in their references. So they had to move around library to library just to seek or just to get the information with regards to the research paper. So that was the scenario before internet era. Why? Because access to information was very scarce and was limited to a certain places. Now, what has happened post internet era is there is more access to publications. All the publishing houses, have utilized the digital technologies, and most of them or almost all of them are into e-publishing now. So because of that, what happened? Everybody started getting access to the information, although not complete access. Complete access is only in the form of open access and green access, etc. But yes, we can certainly go and see what kind of literature is there for a particular area of research. Why? Because at least we can see the title of the paper, abstract, and other things. So that way, access to information has literally exploded. Now, there is one more problem associated again, although we have a lot of access to a lot of information now. Now, the challenge here is there is so much of information that how I manage it. That becomes the question of concern. So just now we saw from no access to access and a lot of data. So how do we help ourselves as researchers for such kind of problem? Yeah, and Of late, you know that there are a lot of sources from where you can, there is availability of information. There are search engines, there are open data repositories, there is gray literature, ebooks, library sources, a lot of sources from where you can source the data. Yeah. So what is the problem with this much, with this data, or why such a lot of data is also problematic sometimes? The problematic aspect is how do we keep this data? How do we organize this data? How do we keep this data so that I have my tabs on it? I can access it every point of time. What happens is, quite a lot of times, all of us, the common mistakes that we do is we do not organize the data. We just download some paper and keep it somewhere. So we don't have a proper organization in our way of storing the data. And sometimes what we tend to do is we download the data and we forget it. So quite a lot of times it happens. So I had read this paper was talking about this concept. And when I go back to my laptop and it is not available. So these are some of the common mistakes with respect to storing the data. We do not name the file properly. We give it some author names. I'll show you. I mean, like, I'm not something very different. Even I do this, or probably every one of us might do it. So we give some file name and, we have named it something, and then we start searching it as something else. So that is also one problem. We cannot, retrieve the literature. We have it, but we don't know where it is. We do not categorize or classify it properly. And sometimes we tend to download the same literature again and again. And we don't even know it. Now, what happens, what is the problem of these things is, if we, one problem what is associated with downloading the literature multiple times is, if there is some access that your college has taken with respect to the search engines, then probably next time when they want to renew the contract with the search engines, then they'll have to pay more amount. Why? Because the search engines charge for the number of downloads, or if there is access to some publisher. At that time, the number of downloads matter there. And these are some of the mistakes that we do at our end. And sometimes what happens is, there is also issue, or there is also problem with respect to hardware. Sometimes our systems crash. Sometimes our laptops get corrupted and all those things. So how do I retrieve my literature if that happens? Let us say I'm doing my PhD. I have saved some 300 to 400 papers. I've done my literature review, kept it on my laptop, and suddenly it's gone. Some virus attack or some crash, it's gone. So how do I retrieve in such cases? And let's say if the hardware becomes obsolete, how do I retrieve? Okay, and let us say I buy a new laptop. How do I retrieve data? So it becomes very difficult in such kind of scenarios. And in all such kind of scenarios, our savior can be the reference management tool. So in all these instances, a reference management tool like Mendeley can help us. Why? Because it will help us in organizing data. It will help us, if there is a duplication in terms of downloading it, it will let us know. It will let us know by all the ways by which we can retrieve the data, by author names, by title of the paper, by the publisher, etc., etc. And at any point of time, if you even change your system, since Mendeley I'll probably explain in the coming slides, has both desktop version, web version, and a mobile version, your data in terms of the papers is always safe at these repositories. So at any point of time, even if you don't have laptop, if you want to access some document which is there in your Mendeley, you can access it on the web usage of the Mendeley. I'll anyways demonstrate that. There is another problem that we have to fight as researchers, and probably while we write our papers. And that is too many citation formats or reference styles. I'm sure all the participants here will agree with me. Rejection is one very common aspect of writing research papers. I mean, like, I have not heard any good researcher telling me that he has not got rejected. So rejection is definitely always a part of writing papers. But what I have learned and what I have heard from my mentors is we need to move on and not sit and crib at the rejection. We just need to move on, take the positive out of it and just move on. But the interesting aspect is, let's say I had sent a paper for a IEEE journal and I got rejected there. And let's say I am targeting now another journal like a Springer. And again, what the problem is, again, I have to realign my entire paper based on that format. And again, the difficult question here is, I need to realign my entire paper based on their reference and citation style, which is a very, very big task if you ask me. Why? Because if I'm doing it manually, then we are a gone case. I mean, like, we need to keep a lot of headache tablets with us while we do it. Especially, let's say, if you're writing a systematic literature review paper, which nearly has, at least has more than 100, 150 plus papers, it becomes a Herculean task to do the referencing and in-text citation when you want to change the referencing style. So in such kind of problems, Mendeley should be able to help us. Now, just what I told now, when we approach publishers or when we approach our own research guides, we get to hear this, right? The paper is really well written or the article is really well written, but what about the references or citations? There is no proper citations. And believe me, citations or referencing is a very, very integral part of any research paper. And I have seen and experienced the articles getting rejected because of citations and not proper referencing. So, because of to handle all such hassles when we are writing research papers, I think these the research tools like Mendeley and the other reference management tools will really help us here. Now, again, a very fundamental question: why we need to cite or why we need to use the references? This is something very fundamental. So it's a established research practice of citing. The main purpose of citing is we want to give credit to the information where we have retrieved it from. I think there has to be a due credit given to a person who has created the knowledge for us to understand something. So to give credit to what he has done or he or she has done, to give credit to their work, we have to cite it. Also, when we want to establish our idea, let's say want to tell our own research, then it is very good that we do very good literature review. And how do I express that I have done good literature review? And that can be done by showing, depth, breadth, and quality of our reading. Let's say this is also one very common feedback that I receive from good researchers is they tell to read. The more you read, the more refined you write. So how do I bring that reading in my papers? Let's say I'm working on some concept of, let us say, artificial intelligence. Now, if I want to tell my readers and the reviewers and the editors that I have good knowledge on this topic, that is why I've selected this for my study, then I need to convince them that my reading on this topic is good. And how will I convince them? By telling what is the kind of work that has happened with respect to AI in management education. So when I'm able to convince them, and that can only happen when I talk about depth, breadth, and quality of my reading. Like depth in terms of how many years of literature I have read, what is the scope of literature, and what is the quality, like is it Q1, Q2 journal that I have taken and read. So when I tell this, there will be more acceptance of my work. Next is to add credibility to your work. You want to tell that the work you have done is really credible, is really worth it, and that can be done by stating the valid information or the resources. Also to connect to what work has happened previously. I am sure those who have published here will agree with me. Quite a lot of times reviewers and editors would want to know how is this work aligned to the previous work that has happened. Although by telling this, I'm not saying that novelty is not having place. Yes, novelty is always having a place when it comes to research. However, the novelty coupled with what kind of work that has happened in this area would really add a lot of value. Why? Because if we create something altogether new, then probably that becomes a patent itself. So I'm not saying research papers are not worth patents or not very novel. They are novel, but yes, there is an expectation that there is some depiction of what kind of work that has happened to be shown. And also to avoid plagiarism. Let's say I want to define something, I use the reference to define it. I use the inverted comma and I write the definition. So if I don't cite it properly, if I don't refer it, then the plagiarism tool will catch hold and says that this is a plagiarized material. So it will also help us to avoid plagiarism. And also it will help the readers to understand the context and further information. So any point of time, anybody who reads your paper will backtrack and see what kind of information is furnished. So to solve or to help out with these two problems, how do I manage my resources, or how do I manage my literature, and how do I manage the citation or referencing? I think this is where the reference management tools will come into picture. Now, just for your information, these are the different reference management tools. To be very honest, I've not used many of these reference management tools. Why? Because I find Mendeley to be very, very convenient and very easy to use. But I've heard Zotero also does reasonably good job. So I'll leave it to you which reference management tool you would want to use. You're free to use any kind of reference management tool. But if you ask me, Mendeley is a very good reference management tool. Why? Because it gives kind of very seamless integration in terms of in terms of integrating the data itself. Mendeley is owned by Elsevier, and you all know that Scopus and Elsevier is all same. So it is very easy to extract data from the Scopus search and directly get into Mendeley. So quite a lot of people use Mendeley. What I will do now is I'll take another 15-20 minutes and quickly run through about Mendeley, and then we'll explore the web version and the desktop version of Mendeley software. Yeah, are we okay? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can we take questions or how it is? I mean, like, you want to have it at the end? In between, if it is okay, I can take a couple of questions. Why? Because I have a meeting scheduled at 3:30. So as soon as the presentation is over, I may have to leave. So I'll take questions if it is okay in this in between?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Can I take a couple of questions or shall I go ahead?
You can consider the questions, sir. No problem.
Yeah, if there are any questions, it is okay, or else I'll go ahead.
If
Okay.
any queries, you can ask the questions.
Okay, fine. I think there are no questions. I'll go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I'll go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into how on using the Mendeley, or let's try to understand Mendeley. Now, Mendeley is or was a completely free academic software. What I've got to know very recently is that Mendeley, I'll show how to download Mendeley, but what I've got to know recently is for 64-bit laptops and computers, there is some issue. So I'll also talk about that. So it's as of now a free academic software. It can be used across different platforms, and you can use it. The web version of Mendeley can be used on all major browsers. Even you can use the mobile version. I'm not very keen on using that mobile version. It's very small. So I generally use the web and desktop version. How does Mendeley help us? It helps us to seamlessly integrate all the documents into one common place which I can access from my mobile, desktop, and my browser. Yeah, we'll just see a overlay of Mendeley. Yeah, so if you have access to laptops or your desktops, what you can do is you can quickly log into www.mendeley.com, or maybe I'll do that maybe in after I cover this, so that I'll give some time also to do the hands-on. So what you can quickly, how you can quickly register for Mendeley is just go to www.mendeley.com and just click create account there. You just have to give your first name, last name, email ID, and password, and then start with get started. Once you create your account, uh, you'll get an email on your personal email. Now, I would like to suggest one very important thing here. As far as possible, when you are creating an account on Mendeley, please use your personal email account. Why? Because sometimes what happens is you tend to use your official email account, and when you probably change your college or when you change, there is difficulty in accessing the content in the Mendeley. So as far as possible, please use your personal email account and to create a login credentials. And if you can see, it is shown in the screen here. After you create your account, you can go with the download option here that is there here. Okay, so when you create a login, then this is the login page. You get your name, the library, and the search option. I'll anyways take you to that. I'll show you that. And afterwards, okay, this is the desktop version. Okay, so let me just quickly show you so that you can also do it along with me. Okay, I'll just screen sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I think my screen is visible, ma'am. The web page was
Yes, sir.
visible, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you can just go to this www.mendeley.com, where you can create your account. Since my account is already created, I will get into the sign-in part. Okay. So since I already have an account, I'll quickly sign in. When you go to this download, it will take you to the sources by where you can download the file and then get it installed on your system. So when you log in into Mendeley, it will take you to the web page. Just like I told you now, there are three tabs here: the search tab, the library tab, and the profile. So what you can do is the search tab can be used to search for any articles. You can also have access to research articles, just like how you have access to like Google Scholar. Predominantly, it uses open access, which is made available to you on search, and you can also quickly go with the statistics or go see the statistics of the papers. So this is one very interesting aspect of Mendeley, and you can also integrate this and use it in your library. So apart from that, you have your profile here, okay? And then this is the important aspect, that is the library. So after using Mendeley or to use Mendeley, you need to come to this library. So once you create your account, this is okay. This is what you see. This is what you see on your screen when you create your account. I'll probably explain about this in some time, but what we can quickly do is, if you are able to use it at your end, you can create your account and then log in and see whether you're getting the same kind of screen at your end. If you can just put it in the comment box, if you can, that you are able to access and you are able to get these this. I would wish to see a few comments at least, if you can. If you're able to log in. Yes, Vishaka Jadhav says yes. Okay. Ma'am, did you create it? Did you create your account and were you able to log in? Yeah. Okay. So that is very nice. So you can quickly at your end create your accounts. I think 32-bit, those who are having 32-bit laptops can quickly also download and install the Mendeley at your desktops or laptops. I'm not sure if 64-bit laptops you are able to do it. But you are all, I think, most of you are computer science engineers. I don't have to tell you how do you download it and how do you do it. Maybe you can use some other sources and download the file, Mendeley file, the desktop version if you want to use it. So what I will be doing is certain features of this online or web version of Mendeley I'll be discussing later. I would rather focus more on the desktop version of Mendeley. Why? Because that is something you would be using extensively to do the in-text citation, etc. Nevertheless, web version of Mendeley is also has equal potential in terms of retrieving data, in terms of accessing the data. Uh, like the web page is exact replica of my desktop version of Mendeley. Why? Because every time you open your desktop version, the data will get synced with the servers, and that is immediately available in the web version. Now, this similarly my desktop, where the desktop version is installed. So let's say I'm traveling and I suddenly remember that I have to read this paper. I quickly open my web version of Mendeley, go to that paper and just quickly download it, or I can just go and quickly read it. So all these options are readily available here in Mendeley. Slightly slow web version. Yeah, okay. By the time it opens, probably I'll go ahead and discuss some other concepts. Just want to have a look at comments. Okay, okay. Quite a lot of you are able to open it and log in, right? So login is not an issue. Ma'am, APC, yeah, ma'am, I think okay, APC charge is slightly out of the context for today's topic, but if time permits, I'll definitely talk on it, ma'am. Yeah. So ma'am, can you just
Sir, your voice is going to be stuck in between, sir.
okay, my voice is stuck. Okay. 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 Let us go to the desktop version. Is it clear now? Voice, is it clear, ma'am?
Yeah. Sir, clear.
Yeah. So I'll go to the desktop version. See, I think everybody followed it or understood it, right? Go to www.mendeley.com, create an ID, login ID for yourselves, and then there is a download tab there. Download tab, click on the download tab. Okay, I'll show you the download tab also. So okay, this is taking some time now. I don't know, it's slow today. Anyways, okay, I think download tab is manageable. You can just go to download and install it. Yeah, let me go to the desktop version. Yeah, is it visible? Desktop version. Ma'am, if you can please if you can please tell me if it is visible.
Not yet, sir.
Okay, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Ma'am, just let me know if it is visible.
Not yet, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Visible.
Yeah. Okay. So the desktop version, I think, is visible now. Yeah. I'll quickly explain or demonstrate this. Right. So when you download the Mendeley version, desktop version, then probably you will download such an interface. So let me tell some basic things about how to use Mendeley or how to create your library. Okay. I would have also explained with the PPT, but I thought we will directly go with the using the desktop version. So this is the interface. So what you can do here is the first thing that you see. Ideally, what would happen is you would want to have a my voice is clear, ma'am. There's some comment saying that voice is not clear.
Clear, sir.
Clear, na?
Ah,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So this is the desktop version. When you open this desktop version, you want to have a library of your own. So Mendeley will help us in creating our own library. So if you can see here, I have my own library where I have different folders, and for different folders I've used for different papers. So similarly, you can also have your own folders. Like this is one review paper what I had written, and this is the folder pertaining to that particular review paper. Now this review paper, whatever literature I have read or whatever literature I want to use in that review paper is all in this folder. I hope you are able to get it. What Mendeley will help us, how Mendeley will help us is, it will help us in creating our own library. Like what we conventionally do, we write on paper. Okay, from this paper, I want to take this. I want to write this and this from this paper. Now, what Mendeley does is it creates a digital library to us. I want to write this paper. This is my research idea. So these are all the literature that are relevant to this research idea. So Mendeley creates a space for me where I can store the literature which is related to this research idea. And then I can access, I can cite, I can annote, I can say make notes on all this literature in writing this paper. So I'll show you how exactly I can do all these things on Mendeley. Let us go step by step. The first thing that you need to create when you open your Mendeley desktop is a folder. So you can go here. There is an option called as create folder. So let me create a folder. Let me create a folder for today's FDP, AGPIT, FDP. I'll just name it. Okay, I've just named it. You can create your own folder for it. And once you create that folder, now this folder is ready. Now, what you have done is you have created one space wherein you want to store some literature or you want to use some literature. So once I created this folder, now what I will do is I will add all those papers, the papers that I have read for a particular idea or for a particular research paper in this folder. So I can use this option here, add. I can directly click on this tab, add. It will directly take me to the folders, or you can use a lot of options in this add button. You can add files, what I just did now. You can directly add folders. It will also show you which folders you are watching. Okay, like let's say if you want to say directly add folder, you can directly add folder here. Or it will also let you know which folders you have watched. And then you can also add the literature or citation or a reference manually. Okay, I'll be showing all these things today. So let us first directly add. Let us say I want to write a paper on engagement. So I have read this paper and I find this to be very interesting paper. I want this in my library. I say open. So when I say open, that particular paper has come and it has got settled in this folder. Now, if you can see here, when I brought this folder, when I opened this PDF file of the paper here, automatically all the citation details have come here in the right side. Now, just after uploading the paper, the title of the paper is there. The author's names is there. The journal in which the paper is published is there. The year, the volume, the issue, and the pages. Automatically or directly, that information is being retrieved by Mendeley. Now, how does Mendeley do it? When you open any research paper in its PDF form, go to the PDF properties in the when you open it in PDF. My Adobe Reader is slightly corrupt also. I would have shown you there. You open the Adobe, properties there. Now, if you go in the description in that properties, all the metadata related to the paper is written there by the publisher. So Mendeley directly accesses that description which is given about the paper and it retrieves directly and saves it here. So you don't have to tell Mendeley what is the name of the paper, which publisher has published it, what is the volume, etc., etc., etc. So this is the first step where now the paper is in your database. So you can add paper like this, or you can add directly the folder. Let's say, okay, I'll maybe add folder at the last. Maybe you can directly take the folder in which all these files are there, and you can directly dump it over here, or you can add it manually. Now, what is this adding manually? Now, let's say there is a website that you want to cite, or there is some library source that you want to cite. So at that time, you don't have a hard copy or a BibTeX file or an EndNote file, which you can directly bring into Mendeley. Instead, at that point of time, you need to add the reference manually. See, without using Mendeley, those of you who use MS Word to also do reference management, you can also directly add references using the MS Word. There, you do it for every reference, you manually add all the details. But that is the plus point in Mendeley. If you have the PDF file or the information in proper format, automatically all the information, the metadata of the paper is directly captured by Mendeley. But if you don't have the paper, then you have to manually add it. Let's say if you want to, there are different options, types of files that you want to cite. So let's say you want to cite a website. So there is all options here. You can just go to a web page. Okay, you can just write some random web page. Okay, and after you write the web page, it will ask you for authors. So in that web page, let's say if it's a blog, then you write the blogger's name. Now you write the blogger's name in the format. It automatically highlights here in that format. So let's say you put it, and then publication, whoever has published that blog, and then year of publication, let's say, and then if there are any page numbers, you can add here. So once you do this and say save, there is automatically another reference that is created here. So this method is to be used when you want to add manually, when you don't have a file, when you don't have a ready reference to be uploaded to Mendeley. I hope it is clear. Can I go ahead?
Sir.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So this is the first step. I hope the screen is still visible, ma'am.
It's a black screen, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Okay, okay. I'll share it again. I'll share it again.
Okay, sir.
Please let me know when it is visible. I'll continue. Visible,
Yes, sir.
ma'am?
Visible, sir. Visible.
Yeah. So this is how you add the files. You add your references into the folder. Let's say I'll add some more references. Okay, I'll say add. Okay, okay. There's one more thing I also want to tell you. You can also add files directly from downloading from the databases like Scopus in the BibTeX format. So this file I've directly downloaded from the Scopus database, and if I directly add this here, then automatically all the content of the file is taken by the Mendeley. So what I did there, that BibTeX file is an output of the search I did in Scopus database. In Scopus database, I searched student engagement and offline classroom. With those entities or variables I searched in Scopus database, I got around, I think, 65 papers. So those 65 papers I selected, I downloaded it in the form of BibTeX, and then that file, when I took here, when I uploaded it, Mendeley directly took all the contents. So now I can cite these papers in my paper. I'll show you later on how. So one more thing I want to tell, when you let's say when you also add, okay, I'll just show you. Yeah. Apart from that, you can also add RIS files or RIS files directly. So let's say I've again added some more files to kind of bring a little more explanation. So if you remember, I told you when I clicked on this first paper that I added, directly all the information came in here. But sometimes what happens, we might be downloading papers from different sources. Like Sci-Hub is one source which probably everybody uses to download. Now what happens in Sci-Hub is, many a times you also get papers, or some other sources also you get papers which are not in PDF form, which are either in images or some other form which is not readable. So at that time, what happens? Let's say let's say I want to show you an example. Yeah. So if you look at this paper, okay. Now Lund and Wang. Now what has happened in this paper is, the Mendeley is not able to access the metadata of the paper. So that is why what it is showing here, the details need reviewing. You can mark them as correct or search the Mendeley catalog. See, if I double click on this, you can open it here in Mendeley. Now what has happened is, it is in a format which is not very easily readable to Mendeley. So that is why all the appropriate metadata has not been transferred. In such cases, we need to manually transmit the metadata. So let's say I copy it here. I copy and paste the journal article, the title of the article. Okay. I'll check which journal it is. Okay, the journal is not okay. Anyways, I'll just write some journal of CS. Okay, I'll write some volume number and pages. Okay, and then I say details are correct. So now what you're trying to do is, if Mendeley is not able to access the metadata, or there is some lack of data, you are manually filling it and making the reference complete. Now there may be a question, why should I do this? See what happens. if the metadata is incomplete in Mendeley, when you cite it in your paper, I'll show you later on how to cite it. When you cite it and say create the bibliography, at that time below in the references of the bibliography, your reference will be incomplete. Let's say there was no journal name here. When you add it in your paper, then at that time journal name will not come in the reference, and that may be a problem when it goes for reviewing. So this is, I think, two important things that we need to understand: how to add the files and then how to edit for more data. I hope it is very clear. Okay, so we have created the folders. One more thing is you can create subfolders in folders. Like let's say again, let's say you want to break up your paper. Let's say you want to make separate folder for introduction, separate folder for the methodology or literature review, separate folder for the analysis of data, separate folder for, let us say, conclusion or discussion. Okay, so in that way also you can create subfolders. Okay, you can create subfolders. Okay, and you can save data accordingly. Okay, yeah. One more important thing. Can I take some doubts here, or are we okay? Shall we go ahead?
Sir, complete the session, sir. You can keep the questionnaires at the end.
Okay, I'll try to finish it by 3:15, but
okay, sir.
I need to wind it up at 3:25, ma'am. Okay, I'm very sorry for that.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So once you've created your library, okay. Now what you can. Okay. So once you created your library and you have created this inventory or library, there is also one additional advantage here in Mendeley. If let's say you have already put all the files here, okay. Let's say you want to read some paper and you want to create some notes. What you can do is you can just double click on that file here. Now, if you see here, this journal file has opened here. Okay, so you can also start reading here itself. You can just go on reading, and let us say while reading, you feel that a certain part of the paper is important. You can just quickly highlight it, or you can just quickly highlight it so that when what you highlight gets stored here. What you highlight gets stored here. And at any point of time later, you can come back, and since it is stored here, you can see and retrieve that idea what you had highlighted. Let's say you want to bring the word blended learning, the meaning of this word blended learning in your paper. So you can just highlight it and keep it over here. There are also other options. You can also create notes here. You just create notes here. Okay, there's some comment there. Yeah. So you can also create notes here. Let's say I want to make a notes. Use this as a part of the literature review. Okay. So this comment I've just added that I want to use this part of the paper as to explain something in literature review. So I can at any point of time highlight and make notes and just keep it here. So this is also one additional advantage what Mendeley gives us. So at any point of time we can retrieve information. Sometimes it all happens, right? We make notes and keep it for certain file and then we lose it. And as and when you upload here, if you can see, it is automatically getting synced, this green part, if you can see here. If not, you can also use this sync button to sync your data in the desktop so that all the same data is available in your web version. So this is how you create a library for yourself. Okay. Now let me go to, okay, yeah. So you can add folders, you can import data. I just told you this BibTeX format, I just showed you there. Apart from that, okay. Now, I think it is very clear of how you create your library. Okay, there are some more settings or some more aspects I want to explain, but that I will do after I show you how do you cite in your Word document. Okay. Okay, let me quickly check if I've left out something. Yeah, I think I've also covered this. Yes. Okay, yeah, one more important thing here. So now those who have created or just downloaded your Mendeley versions, desktop versions, you need to go to this tools, okay, and you need to install the MS Word plugin. Now, if you want to connect, or if you want to sync, or if you want to create a plugin in your MS Word, then you need to go to tools and then install the MS Word plugin from here, so that you can start using the Mendeley directly in your Word document. Okay. Let me go to the Word document and I'll show you how I can use. So I have just randomly created some content here so that I can show you. Ma'am, Word file is visible, right?
No, sir.
Not visible. Yeah.
हाँ sir.
Visible, na?
Visible.
Yeah.
हाँ sir.
So I've just randomly created a Word file so that I can show you how to use the citations or in-text citations. So what we did now is we created our own library in Mendeley where we saved all the PDFs. So we will now use it, and we also created the MS Word log plugin, and you need to do it. You need to insert that plugin in the references. You get an option here to create a plugin. So what I will be doing now is like, how do I use it now? Okay. So what happens is when we are writing research papers, or for that matter, even the PhD thesis and all those things, or any reports, I want to cite. Like, let's say this sentence, I want to cite now. Okay. So simply what I will do now is I will go to, okay. I'll quickly explain this small tab that has come. So using this insert citation, I can add the citation. Okay. I can undo it, refresh it. I'll tell you about insert bibliography later, and also open Mendeley. I want to focus on one very important thing here, the style. I told you in the beginning, right? We have problem when we want to change the style of the referencing. Let us say I was writing in IEEE format, and now I need to change it to some other format which a Elsevier journal uses. Let's say a APA format or a Harvard style. So how do I switch that? Okay, here it makes it very easy. Let's say I'll start with IEEE. Okay, IEEE is not there in this. Okay, anyways. Okay, I'll start with APA maybe, and then I'll take IEEE also if you want. So let's say I'll take APA format. So what I do now, I've selected APA format. I'll show you later IEEE also. So what I will do, I'll just simply go to insert citation. Okay. So now my reference is there. I know for this sentence what I have to cite or which paper I have to cite. So I'll let's say just type Appleton. Okay, if you remember the first paper that we had taken there was Appleton. So I will just click here on Appleton and say okay. What you can see when I just said okay, yeah. So Appleton is cited here in APA format, right? So similarly, I can go ahead and maybe add some more citations. If I don't remember the author, let's say I'll go to Mendeley and let us say, okay, I'll take this, Daniels, I'll say cite. So again, Daniels is there here. Okay. Okay, I again go back, I again want to cite. So let's say I insert, let's say I want to go to Mendeley. Okay, I'll take this. As the details are correct. I'll take this paper. I'll say cite. So again, this paper is come here. Okay, I'll again go to Mendeley and say this paper. Okay, and I say cite. So if you can see, all these papers have already come now here. Okay, and they are all in APA format. Okay. So what simply I'll do now is, let's say I'm finished with my entire paper. I add all my citations. Just a what do I call? Suggestion is, when you're doing this exercise, what I usually tend to do is I do it parallelly. Like let's say I'm writing the research paper, so I'm writing the introduction part. I start writing it, and when I want to cite it, I see to it that the PDF or the BibTeX or the EndNote file is already there in my paper folder. I take it, paste it in Mendeley, and immediately I cite it here. What happens is sometimes we tend to forget. Of course, the file will be there in Mendeley, but while you are writing, if you ask me personally, based on my experience, don't postpone citing. Let in-text citation be parallel to the writing. That will really make things a lot easier. And also, we will not forget to upload the citation or upload the paper in the Mendeley itself. So now I have cited these 4 authors here. So what I will do is I'll just go at the end, okay, and I'll just click insert bibliography. So when I said insert bibliography, what you can see here is, okay, I'll just, okay, so what you can see here is all the papers that you have cited in your research paper. The entire bibliography comes here. Now, let us say I'm citing, let's say I'm citing Appleton twice. Let's say I'm citing Appleton twice. So even if I'm citing Appleton twice, when I say insert bibliography, you can see here Appleton is coming only one time. So Mendeley takes care of such duplication, redundancy, all things very carefully. Okay. So what you can see here is that Yeah. What you can see here is that the bibliography or the references are already shown here. Now we have taken a very small example of just 4 research papers. Just imagine how easy it will be when you have around 120 or 130 papers. You just go on having the in-text citations and at the end come and just say insert bibliography and everything is there. Trust me, it has really made life very easy, at least like in my case, or else it is very troublesome to find out the bibliography. Now, let us say, if I want to, okay, I told you one problem, right? Let's say I wrote to a paper which follows APA format and I got rejected there. Now I want to go for a IEEE format. So I want to go for a journal which is in IEEE. So what I do here, I just come here, click here. Okay, IEEE is not there. Okay, let's say I want to target Nature journal. So I just click on Nature format. So the Nature format is here. Okay. Now, what if you have seen here, there are only few type of referencing style there here. What if a reference style, what you want is not there in this list? So Mendeley provides you that additional feature also, wherein you can add additional references. Say for example, when you go here and click on more styles, okay, so yeah, so it will directly take here. So these are some of the okay. Is Mendeley desktop visible, ma'am? No, right? Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, thank. But I hope you got it right when you. Okay, I'll show it in the. Yeah, I'll show it in the Mendeley itself. Yeah. Right. So if you see here, ma'am, just tell me when it is visible. Okay, start. Still not visible. Yeah. You just wait for a few seconds. I think it will be visible, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it should be visible.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, so I was talking about. I was telling you, if you want to add more uh, types of or other types of referencing into the other type of referencing into Mendeley, then what you can do, you can just go here in view. Okay, there is an option called as citation style. So you can just go here and say more styles. So once you go to more styles here, if you can see here, IEEE is there here. So what I will just say is use this style. Okay. So when I click on this, use this style. So ideally it should directly come here in Word. Let me just check. Okay, there is. Okay, I say use this style and I said done. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, I'll just quickly show now. Yeah. Yes, I think the word file is visible. Now what has happened here? If you can just see, now IEEE has come here. So I have just clicked on IEEE, and suddenly all the references have got changed to IEEE format. So I think this is the most beautiful aspect of Mendeley. So with a just click of a button, you can change any format to any format. Okay. With just a click of button. Suddenly you can change it to APA. Suddenly you can change it to IEEE. Okay. So it is as easy as that. So whenever you want to change the publisher or you want to send it to some other journal, it becomes literally hassle-free. I had one paper which I had to send it to 3, 4 conferences. So every conference had a different format. So I think this was the savior here. Okay. Uh, as it is, we have that pain of rejection, and over that, this is additional burden. So to a certain extent, it is helpful here. Now, let's say if let's say in this citation style, okay, more styles. Okay, one minute. Yeah. So let's say in the citation styles, uh, out of this list, there is something which is not at all available what you want. There is some other referencing style which is not there in this list. So at that time, you can also get it. Okay. So go to get more styles. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to, okay, you need to open or you need to go, you need to go to csl.mendeley.com. I think I'll use.
Again,
Yeah.
presentation is not visible, sir.
Yeah, I'll use the share entire screen so that I can move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to see this website, ma'am?
No, sir, not yet. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the what I was discussing is, let us say there is some reference which is not available in the list of list of referencing style in the Mendeley. So at that time you can visit this website csl.mendeley.com/about. So here you can find the different citation styles. Let's say some computer science journal or some other journal, let us say let's say aerodynamics. I'm just randomly using something here. Let's say okay, so there is this Journal of Wind Engineering and Industrial Applications. Okay, let us say that this is following a different, okay, Harvard style is still there, but still, let us say there is some journal which is following some other referencing style. So you just search that journal here, click on View Style, and once you click on this View Style, Okay, you just copy this. Sorry, just copy this link, self link. Just copy this and come back to the Mendeley and paste it here. Mendeley is visible, ma'am.
Sir, yes, sir, visible, sir.
Yeah. So paste it here and just say download. Okay, there's some issue here. Yeah. Just say download here. So when you say download here, this particular journal and its referencing style is visible here. So just say use this style again and say done. And if you go back to the Word file, you should be able to see this. Okay. We just did it for, yeah, Journal of Wind Engineering and Industrial Applications. Use this style and say done. So if you can see here, that journal is and its referencing style is there in your Word now. So just click on that. Your references will get directly aligned to that particular journal. This is very important. Why? Because there is different audience that is listening here, and you might be targeting a journal paper which is having very specific referencing requirements. So you can align your referencing requirement based on the type of the referencing style. Okay, now this is what I wanted to explain here. Yeah, other than that, there are also other options here. You can filter the papers in a folder by the author keywords, by if you have made some tags, okay, you can tag them. Okay, there are different types of tags here, so you can tag them. You can filter them by publications, different publishers. So you can use all these options in order to search for any paper. This is the desktop version. Let me also kind of quickly in another 10-15 minutes show the web version also. Yeah, I think this is the web version. I'll also spend some time here. Let's go to the library here. Ma'am, I hope it is still visible.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yeah, web page is visible. Yeah. Right. So if you go and see here, I don't know. I think it is not synchronized yet, or else. I think maybe some network error, or else by this time we would have already got the folder that we have created there. Yeah, if you can see here, it has come now. So if you remember, okay, this will take some time. If you remember, I created a folder there, right? AGPIT FDP. So that folder, yeah, it has already come here. So that is what I was talking about in terms of syncing. So at any point of time, if you want to access any information in your library, which you have kept in your library, then directly you can also access using the web version of Mendeley. Let's say you are at some other place where you don't have your laptop or desktop. You can quickly go to the web version of the Mendeley and see. So if I click AG Patil FDP folder here, all those papers that I have uploaded there, okay, quite some of them are the BibTeX format, so you don't have the PDF here. But other things, what all PDF I have uploaded, should be there here. And at any point of time, you can just go and also download it, or you can just go and read here, which I was trying which I was trying earlier. Yeah, let's say, yeah, this paper. Okay, you don't have a PDF of this. So I'll just go and say read. So I can quickly read it here. So this is one very interesting option what Mendeley gives you. You can also read it here. You can also do annotations. You can also highlight. You can also write notes here. So all those features what the desktop version of Mendeley is giving, the web version also does it. So very similarly, like I was showing you there, you can quickly select or highlight it. Okay. You can just quickly highlight it. Okay. You can just highlight it. And at any point of time, you can just add notes. Just add notes or comments. Okay. So all the same features of the desktop version is all made available here. Right. So let's get back. Yeah, there is one more very interesting feature what I wanted to show about Mendeley. Yeah, one very interesting feature of Mendeley is collaboration. Let's say 3-4 of you are writing a research paper and you want to collaborate. The authors are at different locations. Now, what you can do is you can take help of Mendeley in this case also. You can create a group. Now, if you see here, there is a tab here. And this feature is available only with the web version of the Mendeley. However, once you create group here, in the desktop version, it is visible. So what you can do, you can just go to the groups, create a group. Let us say AGPIT. I have just created it. Okay. You created a, let us say, group here. Now in this group, okay, you just need to click manage group. Now, if you can see here, it will show who is the creator of this group. Let's say I created this group. Now, let us say I want to collaborate with 2-3 people. Now, what I do is I click on this invite members. If you can see, there was a tab invite members. Okay. Now, who I want to invite? There would be 2-3 people who I want to work with. Let us say, since I know Professor Gadwal there, let's say I will just put some random address of Professor Gadwal @gmail. I don't know his correct email ID and address. Let's say Gadwal sir and let's say Professor Kulkarni. I'm just randomly putting it for your understanding. Kulkarni sir at kulkarni@gmail.com. So you just need to put their email addresses. Okay. Yeah, I think it says on a separate line. Yeah. So once you put the email address, if you can see here, this. Okay. If you can see here, this tab has now become active. Send invites. Now, please remember, you should put or you can use only those Gmail IDs or the person who you want to invite should be having a Mendeley account. If he or she is not having a Mendeley account, then they cannot be brought into a group. So ideally, what happens when I click send invite, Professor Gadwal and Professor Kulkarni will receive an invite in their inboxes. So when they click on that inbox, invite in the inbox, then they will also get the access of all those papers which I create or I put here in Mendeley, or probably whatever Gadwal sir puts in his Mendeley account, or probably Kulkarni sir puts in his account. As in, we can parallelly share the work that we are doing. Let's say today I uploaded 20 files related to a paper. Professor Gadwal uploaded another 10 files, and Professor Kulkarni uploaded another 5 files. So all of us will be able to see those 35 files at a time. So there is no question of he sending me a mail and I feeding it in Mendeley. No. So everybody will be on at par, on par. So this is one very wonderful feature which will help you to collaborate. Okay. So these are some of the basic elements of Mendeley. I need to check if I've left out something. Yeah. I think I'm more or less done from my end. Let me just quickly run through the PPT. Ma'am, are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So all these things we already saw now, creating the library, highlighting the annotate the document. Yeah, this is the annotation that we can highlight. We can write notes. I told you about the citation plugin, how you need to plug in the citations. I also told you about the different formats that can be used. Yeah, and I think also explained this part. Let me just quickly see if that AG Patil folder is visible there in Mendeley. Okay, no. Okay. That AG Patil folder is not visible here because I did not put the right email addresses. Once I put correct email addresses of Professor Gadwal and Kulkarni, and subject to they having their Mendeley accounts, it is visible here. Like this is one example. We had done a collaborative work, 3-4 people, and this group was created where everybody pulled in all the data which is visible to everybody. So this is one okay. If you can see AG Patil, okay, it is already visible here. So AG Patil folder is created here, and as and when we start adding data here, everybody will have access to that data. I'll just quickly see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, private groups. Yeah, we have already seen the search part of this. I think I'm done, ma'am. If there is anything, we can take questions, maybe some 5-10 minutes questions, and then if you can please permit a little early today.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask.
Yeah, what I will also do is I somehow forgot to put my contact information. I'll put it in the comment box. My name is Sumant P. Desai. Okay, my mobile number is 98860679117. My email ID is So I've put my contact information, my mobile number, my email ID in the chat box. Even if you don't have any questions right now, you can please email me or give me a call. I'll help as much as I can. But if there are any questions, please, I can take it ahead. Yeah. Somebody has raised hand, man. Yeah, thank you, Sushant sir. I don't know, a little transition between the windows. I was not very comfortable. I hope the content was very clear and If you are even able to download and use Mendeley for your research paper, I'll be more than happy to listen.
Sir, Nishikanta ma'am have a question, sir.
Ma'am, please. Yeah.
Nishikanta ma'am, you can unmute your mic and ask question. Nishikanta ma'am? No, ma'am. So she has replied that no question.
Okay, no problem, no problem. See, I understand. I understand why, because had they used it hands-on, then there would have been some questions. But since it is an online session, they will go back and maybe use it. And once they use it, they may get some questions. And please feel free to contact me.
Okay, already sir has shared their mobile number.
I think Chandrakant Devte sir is asking some question. I'll just take it. Is there any method to format paper in different format? Sir, I think that part, if there is any specific formatting, no, Mendeley doesn't do that. It only does for citation, sir. Paper, I think you need to align it according to the format. That's a very interesting question. I think maybe in future they may come up with some tools. The tool itself will quickly shift it from IEEE to Springer to elsewhere format. Very good. Yeah. Yes, sir. I think Anand sir says formatting is different for different. Yes, sir. It depends again. Ma'am, somebody has raised hand. Surekha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sakre, madam. Madam, you can ask question.
Sakre, ma'am, how are you? Good, ma'am.
Sakre, ma'am.
I think in the last FDP also.
Yes, sir.
Sakre, ma'am.
Yes.
Was very actively, involving. Yeah.
Madam, you can unmute on your side, madam. You can speak.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for remembering my question. Thank you so much. One thing is, when we are doing all the uploading of our research work on this Mendeley, whether the work will be like secure, like, because this is unpublished work, a thesis and all, whether it is secured.
Ma'am, why do you want to upload unpublished work, ma'am?
Like formatting and citations, when we are trying to have, then somehow or the other, some part we are trying to include in this Mendeley.
Ma'am, if you ask me, there is no need to upload unpublished work. Why? Because we would not be citing unpublished work, right? I mean, like a paper which you want to publish, you cannot cite it, or there is no point in citing it, right? So you don't upload, if you ask me, you don't upload any unpublished work or some work which you are working on. So, but if you are asking other data, if you are uploading in Mendeley, it is fine. It is absolutely fine. Why? Because it would be available somewhere.
Yeah.
So unpublished work, you don't have to upload in Mendeley.
Okay, for citations and all references, this you've just mentioned. So how can we use those facilities of Mendeley in our work then?
Hey, I just told you, see, Mendeley, what it does is it helps you to bring insight, in-text citation, and directly that citation in the reference. So it only helps you with referencing.
Okay.
I'm sure you agree with me that it is very tedious to do referencing now.
Correct, sir.
Why? Because if you forget, let's say in text you have cited some paper. Okay.
Yes.
Let's say in introduction, one definition, you have cited some paper. And if you forget to cite it in the references, then that reviewer and editor will catch hold of you. He'll ask you where this came from, or plagiarism will catch hold of you. If the definition, if you have not cited and that reference is not visible, the plagiarism software will catch hold of it. So to avoid plagiarism and to say that I'm not stealing any information or I want to give credit to that information, we cite. And that citation is made very easy by this Mendeley.
Yes. So we should use accordingly, like whatever is needed, that only. Otherwise,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Unpublished work, don't put it on Mendeley.
Yes, yes.
Why? Because it doesn't check plagiarism.
Right.
Thank you.
Sir, one question from Chandrakant sir, that any tool to draw diagrams from the test for journal?
Well, there would be some online tools you can use, but as such, no specific tool. I mean, like again, it is very domain specific. If it is some engineering drawing, you can use CAD, CAM, and all those softwares. As such, I have not come across any such tools which, but you can use ChatGPT 4, sir. I've used ChatGPT 4, the paid version of ChatGPT. It draws amazing pictures. If you are able to give a proper prompt to it, like, you know, you have an artist in your hand. Yeah, somebody raised a hand, ma'am. I don't know. Somebody
Sayed, sir.
Hello.
Sir, please,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir. This is Professor
Sir, hello,
Sayed
sir.
from Sanjivani
Yes, sir.
College. Sir, actually, some journals are recommending EndNote for the referencing.
Okay.
So, whether the journals are common in Mendeley and EndNote, because EndNote is a subscription base. So, if they recommend EndNote, and if we use the Mendeley for the same journal in the same for referencing, whether they will accept it.
Sir, if you ask me, they should be able to accept it. Why? Because ultimately, the referencing, what EndNote does and what maybe Mendeley does is all the same. So the style is the style, right, sir? If whether it is Harvard style or APA style, the style is fixed, right? The software may change, but the style is fixed. Like APA given by Zotero, APA given by EndNote, or APA given by Mendeley should be same. So if you ask me, it should not be a problem, and I have not come across directly such instances. Maybe case-to-case basis, maybe we need to look into it, sir.
But if that journal style, suppose, is not available in Mendeley, can we insert that journal style manually?
Yeah, I just showed you that almost all the styles are visible, available, sir. You just have to add it. I just showed it during the presentation. You need to go to csl.mendeley.com, and there you can select the link and paste it in Mendeley, and you can use it. Ma'am, I hope you are sharing the recordings with all the participants.
Yes, sir. At the end of the session.
Yes, sir. You can take the recording, and probably in that you can have a look at it, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, one more question is there on chat box, sir.
Yeah, Nalini ma'am, na?
Haan, sir.
Nalini ma'am, you just go to mendeley.com on the web and just log in with your login credentials. Once you log in with your login credentials, the web version is directly opens. There are 3 tabs. One is search tab, library, and your name. That is the profile detail. Click on library. When you click on library, your web version of Mendeley is visible there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, I think all questions are done. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, already I shared mobile number and email. If you have any queries directly, you can contact to sir directly. So thank you, sir. You have explained very well about the Mendeley platform that minimize our effort and the time for the paper publication. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine, ma'am. Like second time, I'm very thankful to everybody, you know, all director, principal, sir, Kulkarni sir, Gadwal sir, you, and entire organizing team. And I congratulate you all, you know, the AGPIT team in organizing such FDPs where so many people are attending and taking benefit from it. The number today was more than 250. Amazing. You people are doing amazing job.